Hi dear students, our lesson today is about direct and indirect speech questions. Direct and indirect speech questions. Let's start with the changes of to be and auxiliary verbs. Direct and indirect. Am, is, are becomes was or were. Shall, will, shall and will becomes should and would. Can becomes could. May becomes might. Must, have to, has to, and ought to, all of them, the three of them becomes had to. Now let's move to the changes of adverb of time and place, direct and indirect. Now becomes then, tomorrow becomes the following day, next week becomes the following week, tonight becomes that night, today becomes that day, yesterday becomes the day before, last night becomes the night before, last week becomes the week before, here becomes there, this becomes that, these becomes those. Now let's move to another changes of tenses, direct and indirect. Simple present tense becomes or changed into simple past tense. Simple past changed into past perfect. Present perfect changes into past perfect. Present continuous changes into past continuous. Present perfect continuous changes into past perfect continuous. Simple future turns into past future. Question. Yes or no questions? Yes or no questions? He asked me if or whether. We have to use if or whether with yes or no questions. When we change yes or no questions from direct into indirect speech, we have to use if or whether after he asked me. Then we use subject and the verb and the complement. Yes or no question examples, direct and indirect. Number 1, Ricky asked Henry, does your father work near? Does your father work near here? Here, as you can see, this is a yes or no question. Does your father work near here? When we change this question, yes or no, into indirect speech, we do the following. Ricky asked Henry if or whether, if or whether, his father. So first we used if or whether, then we changed the pronoun your into his father, and we changed then the tense work present simple into past worked near, and here the adverb of time changed, the adverb of place changed into there. Another example, Mr. Bean asked Cynthia, have you collected your homework? Have you collected your homework? When we changed it into indirect speech or report speech, Mr. Bean asked Cynthia if or whether she had collected. We changed the present perfect into past perfect. If she had collected her homework. So here we have three changes. First, we used if or whether, then we changed the pronoun, and we changed the tense from the present perfect into the past tense, and finally we changed the pronoun at the same as the first one to go with the first one. Another example, Desi asked William, can you accompany me to Lebo tonight? here we have a yes or no question. So when we change it, we follow the same procedure. Desi asked William. Again, we use if or whether. Then we change the pronoun into he. And then we change it can into could accompany her, the pronoun again, to lebo. And also we change it the word tonight into that night. And don't forget to remove the question mark. And we write a full stop instead. What about WH questions? What about WH questions? We'll do the same. We start with he asked me or he wanted to know, and then write when, what, any word of speech. The word of speech, any word of speech, when, what, where, why, etc. Then we write the subject, the verb, and then the complement. And don't forget to remove the question mark and write a full stop instead. WH question example: direct and indirect. The girl asked me, where do you come from? Here, as you can see, we have a WH questions. It starts with a question word. Where do you come from? When we changed it, we changed it as follows. The girl asked me. First we write the same question word, then we changed the pronoun you into I, and then we changed the tense from the present simple into the past. Where I came, we have here after the question word we have the subject and the verb in the new tense, from. And don't forget we remove the question word, the question mark, and put a full stop. Another example: my father asked my brother, why did you arrive at home late last night? Here again we have a WH question. We will follow the same procedure. My father asked my brother why. Here we have the WH question, the WH word, then the pronoun, the subject pronoun, he instead of you. Then we change the tense from the past simple into the past perfect, had, and the past participle, arrived at home late, and we changed it last night into the night before. Another example: Handy asked the girl, what is your favorite movie star? Again we have a WH question, and we will follow the same procedure. We have what, WH word, then we have her favorite movie as a subject, her favorite movie star, and we changed the pronoun, and finally we changed the tense from present simple is into the past simple was. Exercises. Direct. The student said to the teacher, we haven't done our assignment. My uncle said to my sister, I cannot come on my birthday party next month. Peter asked Lena, do you love me? Number 1. My father asked me, have you prepared for your final exam? Have you prepared for your final exams? So here we have different types of, as you can see, we have different types of sentences. We have statements in the positive and in the negative case, and we have WH questions, and we have yes or no questions, and again here we have a command, negative command. Anita told her, don't tell me more about your boyfriend. My friend asked her, stay with me forever. It's a positive command. And finally here we have my headmaster asked me, where do you live? It's a WH question. Now we comes to the end of our lesson. Until we meet again, I wish you the best of luck and goodbye.